What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the Pullpit Wednesday, my weekly new comic book day rundown when I go through the books at the top of my pull list, the books I'm side-eyed on my spec list, and all the trades is just sitting there on the shelf looking all calm like they're not about to mess up my whole budget for the week. Yes, it's that time of week again. And this week, June 17th, is loaded, y'all. We got Absolute Batman, Absolute Flash, Absolute Green Arrow, Amazing Spider-Man, Batwoman, Batbeast, Nightwing, Odin #2, which I'm particularly excited for, and all the X-Men books you can enjoy. This is one of those weeks where you go to the comic book shop and you say, I'm just gonna go ahead and pick up on my pulls, but then the back wall just look at you like, yeah, you lying, my brother. Go ahead and pick up some more of these real quick. Go ahead, come on here, bro. Go ahead and add to your donation this week, bro. I don't want to hear nothing about it neither, bro. Give me that wallet. And let me say up front with my full chest, my most anticipated books is all the absolutes this week. We got the Absolute Batman #21, like I said, Absolute Green Arrow #2. They blew it all out the water. I'm surprised Absolute Green Arrow is coming out so soon. It feels like it was just 2 weeks ago, but I can't wait. And Absolute Flash turned up. They bringing back the rogues, y'all. I can't wait to talk about it. Now we're gonna go ahead and get started before I find some more things I can put on my spec list. Before we do that, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. Otherwise, this video was all for nothing. So first up on the list, we got Absolute Batman #21, and I'm telling you, Scott Snyder and Nick Dragotta, y'all have not missed on this one yet. Between y'all two, just collaborating, the art and the writing just go hand in hand together, creating all this is grimy and dark and tense and all this. It just does everything that it needs to do. It hits all the spots. And then the last two issues, that would be 19 and 20. There's been a lot happening. I will not spoil what's happened, but if you read it, you know. If you haven't, you need to go back and read it. The way that they've attacked the lore of the main continuity and changed it a lot. Definitely in these last two issues, especially in the last one, I really felt for Bruce because we have been knowing that he's been meeting a certain person for a long time, ever since before I think he became Batman. And now to see the Scarecrow do what he did, I think he definitely broke a little bit of Bruce in the last issue. So in this next issue, it will be interesting to see how they interact, but also we have the Absolute Robins that have come into the mix, aka the Power Rangers, aka Voltron, aka any 5 people that come together and make a big old Megazord. That's what they seem like, but I'm gonna go with the Power Rangers. By the way, did y'all see that Signal variant? That joint went hard. As we know, the heroes are probably gonna fight first, and then they're gonna come to the fact they're on the same side, but it'll be interesting to see how they come together to take on the threat that's going on in the city. And not to mention that Deathstroke is also the leader of the Robins, which was something I did not see coming at all. But I'm excited for this issue. Again, it's my most anticipated issue of the week, so we shall see what they got for us, but I know they're gonna be coming with the heat. Then next up, we got Absolute Flash #16 by Jeff Lemire and Nick Robles. Now, I was a little harsh on this book. It was getting kind of complacent with the last couple issues when they introduced Linda, but now I think they're getting back to what I want to see, the rogues and Grodd. Grodd is my favorite Flash villain. Obviously, they've done a very big makeover on him in this universe. We have yet to see what his intentions are. Well, we see what his intentions are actually, but we don't know if they're going to be changed by another character, and I'm interested to see what's going to happen with that. And also, we brought back the rogues, and I did like their dynamic in this one. They were kind of a super team instead of just, people who came together under doing various evil things to the same person. Here, they're kind of a mercenary group. Also, Wally was visited by a figure, is all I will say, who told him to not do something, and of course, when a speedster is told not to do something, he's going to go ahead and do it. So we're going to see how that unfolds on the next couple issues. I'm pretty sure that's going to be the next run for this one. So I'm actually excited for this one again. Shout out to Absolute Flash and all the team over there doing y'all thing. Then next up, we had Green Arrow #2. Now, I'm not going to lie. This is my second most anticipated book of the week just because that first issue went hard. Raphael Albuquerque, you did your thing on that art. The way you showed all that murder in that book, I was impressed. The way you just showed the despair of that billionaire and what he had to go through, I was happy, and it made my day better because we know they messing us over in real life. So, just that 10 minutes of just seeing that destruction for the wealthiest people in America made me happy. Now I'm just interested to see who the actual Green Arrow is. Now, I won't give away spoilers in the first issue because it seems like it's a mystery book, but we know we have eliminated a few people, I think, and we have a lot more people to find out. That's all I'll say. I know that's very vague, but I don't want to spoil this for anybody. So Green Arrow #2, y'all. Let me know who y'all think the Green Arrow is in the comments. Next up, we have the Amazing Spider-Man #31. I feel like this is another book that I talk about every other week. This probably has to be on some type of bi-weekly schedule. I don't feel like checking it right now, but it's not even important. We at war with Spore. Now, Peter was almost consumed by Spore's power, and I thought it was interesting the way that they worked, but he luckily was helped by an ally that he did not think was going to be coming through, and they had just the power to withstand what was going on and help Peter get through what he needed to do. But technically, I think he gave up the important secret he was supposed to, but I don't think it has any lasting impacts, but we shall see if somebody happened to have seen seen what happened or heard what happened or connected with the hive mind and seen what happened, and now they know the obvious thing that Peter don't want people to know. So we shall see in the next issue if there's a fallout there. Next up, we got Batwoman number 4 with Greg Rucka and Danny, and the book has definitely been moody. I do like the artwork. It gives me a Victorian feel. I actually don't know if that's the correct word I want to use, but I'm just keep going with it. I've enjoyed it, but I don't know what's going on, and I know that's because I haven't read the book that comes before it, which is Batwoman Elegy, I think is how you say it. And I need to go back and read that. But I can't say I haven't been enjoying what's going on. I mean, I feel like Batwoman's forever tied to her sister, and we're definitely seeing that here. So as long as you're doing that, it's been cool. It's been a mystery. Will I keep this on the pull list forever? I don't know, but I think I'm gonna give it a solid 10 issues, then see what happens after that. Well, first I'll go back and read Elegy, and I'll see how that does for me and see if that explains a lot what's going on, and then I'll be able to better explain how long I will keep this on the pull list. But again, I have been enjoying everything Greg Rucka. Next up, we have If Destruction Be Our Lot number 2, and this is another anticipated book of the week because the premise on this one was definitely different. Written by the most biblical names for brothers, Matthew Rosenberg and Mark Elijah Rosenberg, and then you have Annie McDonald and Francesco Segala as well. Now, the premise of this book is it's a post-human apocalyptic world where robots are the main population, and there's a particular animatronic Abe who looks like a human, and it's because of this that he's discriminated against. He's also broken down and needs to be fixed and has been ejected from where he used to work when the humans were around. But then he makes the discovery. I think you all can figure out what that may be, and then that changes the world, and then we have to go on and figure out what's going on from there because there's a conspiracy to keep the information that he has hidden, and we should see what's going on and why the robots are trying to hide the fact that Abe found out a secret that the robots were trying to hide. Yes, I did that without spoiling it. Yes, good job there. But again, this is a very interesting premise, and I can't wait to read number 2. Next up, we have Battle Beast number 10 by Robert Kirkman and Ryan Ottley. I still have not read one of these because I refuse to read them until I go through the entire Invincible series, or at least until I get to issue number 20, which is where I hear this story picks up, and I have not read up to that point, unfortunately. So I have not read any of these yet. I'm collecting these at this point, but eventually I will be able to give a full review on this. But I mean, it's Battle Beast. I really haven't heard anybody talk about it per se, but it's Robert Kirkman and Ryan Ottley, so I'm pretty sure when I start to read this, I shall enjoy it. But I will say I heard in this issue that there's supposed to be a big battle between Battle Beast and Conquest. I have no context for what's going on with that. That does sound like something that I would want to read if I knew what was going on with that. So if you're reading what was going on, drop in the comments, tell me how good it is, tell everybody so we can know what's going on, please. Then we got Lobo number 4 by Scotty Young and Jorge Corona, and I have to say this is my full-time good book. Now I feel like I was a little harsh on the issue 2 just because I didn't know where the book was gonna go, but honestly that was me thinking too hard, and then I decided to enjoy it in number 3. It was just like, good times baby, let's just read this and keep going. So for number 4, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be the same thing. And number 3, we got introduced to a lantern that I never seen before and got the backstory of Lobo again. In every issue they characterize him and make you feel for him in the weirdest way. You see him, he's just like a misguided kid who had no homeworld that he unfortunately destroyed, of course, but if he had guidance, maybe he'd be a different person. Kind of like the trouble kids that you see in your neighborhood. You like, if only you had a good parent, you would have went the right way. Unfortunately, you killed your homeworld though, but touche. Again, I've been loving all the vibes that this book brings. I hope that y'all been enjoying it too. Can't wait for issue number 4. Next up, we got New Titans number 36 by Tate Brombo and Marcus Toe, and I know everybody can't wait for Static to come and join because they already announced. I can't wait. I think it's going to be the next issue or the next issue after that, but I can't wait to see Static get back in the main continuity. He back. Now of course we want Static to be in solo run, but look, I'm taking what I can get at this point until I can get what I want. Again, Static needs his own solo series. I ain't trying to hit none of the people like he's niche, he's that. He needs his own solo series. I'm part of that niche crowd, and yes, I want to see it. And it's not even a niche crowd. I don't even know why I just said that. Static is universal. I didn't cosplay as Static, and everybody who knew who I was, black, white, Puerto Rican, Haitian, everybody. I ain't running so many Haitians in LA, but you get what I'm saying. Now getting back to the story, I'm also interested to see what's going on with Cyborg, because Cyborg and Vic Stone are now separated from each other, and I know it got something to do with Apocalypse and what's going on, but again, I think I said in my last pulpit that this is one of the books that I feel like that was actually shows effects from DCKO, even though I didn't really like DCKO, but it actually has lasting aftermath from what was going on, so it was just interesting to see what's going on. I'm glad I picked it up, and I will be keeping on because Static will be showing his face. That's the only reason why I picked it up, to be honest, but it started to be good, and now they're going to add what I really want to see, so I got all the reasons to keep going with it. Next up, we got Nightwing number 139 with Dan Waters on the keys and Dennis Cowan on the art tip, and I can't tell y'all how much I did not know that I need to see Dennis Cowan draw Batman. I think it's the blue, but both artists that are currently currently drawing Batman and Nightwing, have really tapped into something different. I don't know, the way that blue just shows up on the page and the way the light hits, just, I don't know, it does something for me. It just hits different than that black. But nonetheless, I've been enjoying this run because it's been going very street level into Bloodhaven, and this gave us a story about a couple supernatural things that's been going on since they built this new bridge and everything. And now they've pinned a couple things onto Nightwing. So in this next issue, we shall see how he gets out of that. So that shall be interesting. But again, I've been enjoying this run and I can't wait to see this issue. Then we have Odin number 2. And let me say this very clearly, that Odin number 2 is the craziest thing I have read all year. And James Tiny Onion, you need a little bit of help, man. But I love that book. I feel like I shouldn't love it based upon the premise. Has to do with white supremacists going to a Norway camp to do some magic, and that probably wouldn't do well for people like me in the real world, but that ain't really delved into in this one. We just see that magic is happening. We don't know why they're doing it yet, but all I can say is that the magic that they think they're doing comes back onto them, and then something happens, and then it's very satisfying to be like, oh, y'all did not get the result y'all thought y'all was gonna get, and chaos is ensuing. Now, I won't say too much else about this book because I feel like I'm going to spoil it. I feel like I already said too much, so all I can say is that I'm excited for number 2. Next up, we have Uncanny X-Men number 30. And I told you, it feels like every time I make a video, I'm talking about an X-Men book. This book is written by Gail Simone, and Gail, you do your thing with the books. I'm not disappointed every time I read it, but it's always hard to just remember what's happening because there's so many X-Men books, and again, there's so many characters that overlap. But in the last issue, we had the fight with the Outliers and the X-Men, and then you had the X-Men versus the New Mutants. So that's what was kind of confusing because there's a lot of people there. And then you had the plot line of everything that was going down at Grey Malkin prison. So that is wrapped up now, it seems like. So it seems like we're going to have less of a split storyline going on, more of a straightforward thing happening here. And that should put things more into perspective. So I'm happy to see what's going to be going on moving forward. So again, it's X-Men. You can't go wrong with X-Men. And last but not least, at the top of the list, we got X-Men United number 4. I'm telling you, it feels like I talk about X-Men all the time. This one is by Eve L. Union and Tiago Palma. Now, I've been calling her Al Union for the last couple of videos, but I want to make sure that I cleared up that this is Eve Ewing. And it's been a solid book. I like the first 2 issues between the thing that happened at the end of the first book and then Emma's response to a certain person who they thought did the thing at the end of the first issue. And then this last issue had a guest appearance in it. I really don't know where the book is going, I will say, but I mean, it's been cool the last couple of issues. It's kind of best of book right now, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be taking on its own identity very soon. It seems like this will be more for the students of the school book, but it hasn't stayed in that lane totally, so we shall see where this direction of this book is headed. But again, X-Men, you can't go wrong with X-Men. So yeah, that's my top of the list for this week. Everything after those purchases will be me just trying to walk around, not to make emotional purchases with a calm face. Because comic book shops know how to get you. You go in there for 3 books, then you leave with 7, a trade, and the confidence of the man who had no self-control. Knows how to make no sound decisions, no budget responsibilities. This ain't retail. This is an ambush with fluorescent light. Come on. With that said, let's get into the spec list, the books that have me doing all of my emotional buying. Now, I kept the spec list very short this week on purpose because my pull list is extremely long. And first up on the spec list, we have the Patron number 0. Apparently, it's supposed to be a cold open or a one-shot, and the actual book will be releasing later on this summer. This book is written by Kristen Ward and John J. Pearson. And I guess this will be the entry point to what will be coming on later on this summer. Now, the book is about a mentor who is mentoring young artists, but instead of helping them come onto the scene, he winds up murdering them in their transition to trying to become successful. Obviously, he's going to meet someone who challenges this, and we shall see the chaos that ensues. Seems like a strong setup, so I'll read the spec and we'll see if I will want to continue on with the number 1. And last but not least, we have Land of Never number 1, written by Steve Orlando and Miguel Mora on the art. And apparently this is supposed to be a horror noir riff on Peter Pan, seen through the eyes of the parents. Jim Hoke has a daughter whose name is Wendy, very Peter Pan-esque, who disappears after he glimpses a flying man at her window. And now he's chasing the truth that nobody believes. Years later, his daughter's appearance comes back up in the cold case, and he is forced to relive the memories of everything that has happened and is forced to try to figure out what is going on with the disappearance of his daughter many years later. That's a very dark take on Peter Pan in the world of the Neverland. So once again, I'm interested to see what happens here. Once again, take my money. And that actually concludes the spec list for this week, and I'm very proud of myself that I kept it to 2. Be proud of me too, y'all. Give me some comments and let me know how proud y'all really are. Before we wrap up, we gotta go ahead and get into the one trade that I have waiting. Now, the only trade we have waiting for us this week is Geiger Volume 5. I admittedly have not read any of Geiger, but I do know that it's written by one of the GOATs, Jeff Johns, and I've heard nothing but good things about it. I am currently reading a lot of Jeff Johns' books, and I said I wanted to read all of his DC runs before I started to read Geiger. So I am completing Green Lantern Rebirth, which he wrote. After that is when I will jump into this universe. Again, Jeff Johns is one of the GOATs of DC. I feel like they gave him the keys to tell the lore for everything around Rebirth for that time period of DC Comics. All I can say, yes, he's one of the GOATs, and everything he writes, I'm probably going to pick up. So with that said, I'm going to be picking this one up too. And luckily, the Geiger paperbacks have not been too much, so I don't think it will burst my pockets too much. All right, y'all, that brings us to the end. That's my Pullpit Wednesday breakdown for the books dropping on June 17th. As always, if you're rocking with the content in the channel, please hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll be bringing more videos your way weekly. And let me know in the comments, what's at the top of your list for this week? What number one got your attention? And what book are you calling a maybe, even though you know that maybe is coming home to be your baby? Until next week, I'm Cornell Westside. Peace.